The man had always been selling bad apples, yet he managed to sell them all every day. Strangely enough, the old man's apples were perfect, but no one ever bought them. It turned out that not long ago, both the old man and the other man were selling apples. Since the old man's apples were perfect, his business was booming. When a pregnant woman with a child in her arms came by, the old man kindly gave her an apple for free. As a result, people at the market liked to buy apples from the old man. Seeing the old man's apples selling out quickly, the man next door came up with an idea. He secretly lowered the price of his apples, sprinkled some water on them to make them look fresher, showed only the good parts of the apples, and hid the rotten parts. Since his apples were cheaper than the old man's, he soon attracted a large number of customers. Soon, the man's apples were running out, and his money jar was filling up. Faced with a blind woman, the man not only gave her the most rotten apples but also secretly reduced the number of apples. Soon it was evening. The man tied the money he had earned with a hemp rope and tightly fastened it around his waist. The old man was also counting his earnings and then tied the money around his waist. The two had to cross a big river to go home. The man thought the ferry fare was too expensive. The old man got on the boat first and took out the fare, also kindly giving 2 apples. The man refused to pay, saying that the old man's apples were his fare. Suddenly, a strong wind blew. At that moment, a reef appeared ahead. A huge wave crashed the boat into the reef, and the boat immediately shattered. All 3 of them fell into the river. The man checked that the money was still around his waist and then swam towards the shore with relief. But the old man, being too old, gradually became tired. Soon he realized that his money bag was too heavy and decided to untie and throw it away. Seeing this, the man became very anxious and quickly swam over to grab it. To prevent the man from drowning because of this, the old man directly threw the money bag into the water. But the man was not willing to give up. He dived into the water to pick up the money bag. Only after tying the old man's money bag around his waist did he swim out of the water with satisfaction. However, because the money bag was too heavy, the man gradually couldn't hold on. At this time, the old man and the ferryman had already safely reached the shore, while the man was still struggling in the water. Soon he was submerged by the river. It was only then that the man thought of untying the money bag, but he couldn't do it. Soon the man sank to the bottom of the river. 2 kind passers-by jumped into the river and fished the man out of the water. The man opened his eyes, reached for the money bag around his waist, and then passed away. Subsequently, the ferryman untied the money bag from the man's waist, and the coins scattered all over the ground.